everyone. My name is Tara. I'm 28 years old, and I'm making a video today just to get some of my thoughts out, hoping that it'll reach someone, hoping to create an audience for myself so I can continue sharing my thoughts. So today I'm just going to share a little bit about myself and kind of the basis of what I want to talk about moving forward, and then we'll talk a little bit about a specific topic today. But to start, I was born and raised in the US. I'm 28 years old. I have worked jobs back to back since I graduated high school. I have my bachelor's degree. And what I've found thus far is that even though I've enjoyed periods of my education and work, I've come to a point where I think, society is kind of shifting, and the things that once kept us going, kept us, striving to achieve something and feel like you have an identity in this world, those things are they're kind of becoming played out. And I think a lot of people are realizing that we need to do things differently. And so I'm hoping that particularly the younger generation will receive something from what I'm saying. Let me know your thoughts on if you agree, and how we can be the leaders of a new society and a new generation if the old society does in fact crumble, which a lot of people are thinking it's coming. And it's just a feeling that we all have. A lot of people are waking up in today's age. Things are just coming to them. They get downloads, and we don't know exactly where it's coming from, but we feel things much more strongly than I think we ever have as people for a long. I don't want to say in all time, obviously, but for a very long time, people have been very suppressed, very oppressed, and it's a new day and an age. And so I want to talk a little bit about the things that I'm letting go of, my hopes for the future, and then just general ideas that I have that we can start with. So one of the things in particular that I wanted to talk about is reserving enough space and time for us to be able to receive these downloads, to receive insight on where we've been, where we are now, and where we're headed. It requires, to be honest, for some people, it might require letting go of a lot of things. For me, it was letting go of the concept of working a 9 to 5 and completing all of my education and leveling up to something to where I feel like I fit in this society. And at this point in my life, I found so much more happiness in just letting all of that go, in trusting that I will make income however needs to be done to be able to feed myself, that to have trust and faith that as a part of society, we will support each other, and I will find a community regardless. So having that trust is very important, first off. And then slowly, letting go of the things that previously gave us identity and made us feel safe, and you're kind of in a survival mode essentially. At this point in my life, I'm no longer living in survival mode, thank God, and I'm so much happier. I'm able to use my time on things, just healing alone. It's taken me, a couple years of, letting go of the past and letting go of the things I was holding on to, whether it was the job, school, relationships. So it's been, kind of rocky over the last couple years, but I'm finally at a place where there's about to be a huge transition, and I'm going to now step into this new version of myself. And so it's going to take time. And so if we already know that these things are going to take time to just let the past crumble before you can even start on your new journey, start now. However you can, start making space in your life. Journaling has helped me a lot. When I first started journaling, I realized I had so much emotion, so much anger suppressed because I I mean I tore pages, I stabbed my pen through pages just because of all the emotion that was coming out just from expressing it, having an outlet. And so now I journal every day. Um, and I have pages and pages of journals that I can now look back on and kind of piece together as I move forward. And another thing I want to talk about today is dreams. So I want to talk about the importance of dreams and how clearing up this space for us to be able to wake up in the morning and not feel rushed to go to work. I mean, for all of my life, I mean, I remember most of the dreams that I remember are the dreams that wake you up because they're nightmares and they thrust you out of sleep. um, but now every morning, I don't have any obligations straight away in the morning. You know, there might be a time in the future where I'm able to get up earlier and complete these things in a more timely fashion and still go to work. But right now, the 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 amount that comes out and the time it takes, I simply cannot work a regular job anymore. Um, and so every morning I wake up, I spend at least 20 minutes trying to recall the details of my dream, and then I write them down. And this has been going on for almost 6 months now. And I want to share this because it's become clear to me that this is a skill that is worked on the more you do it. And it's becoming stronger and stronger each day. And it's just crazy to look back thinking how I spent a quarter of my life. I'm 28, so I spent at least a quarter of my life going to sleep and waking up and having no idea what was going on in the dream world, having no idea what messages were being sent to me, how to piece them together, and apply it to my waking reality. So I am going to share one dream I had that really stood out to me. It kind of speaks on the importance of why we should try our best to recall our dreams and make sense of them. One that I always think about all the time, I was actually placed in another time period in the dream, another point in history. It was very clear that it was sometime within the early 1900s, maybe even the late 1800s. And I was also very clearly in Europe. And so this is important just because, for one, I don't watch a lot of TV. I really hardly watch TV. I don't find a lot of enjoyment in consuming too much content because I have so many thoughts running through my mind already. I don't like to cloud it with more media and more images. So I don't watch a lot of TV. I haven't done a lot of research on like historical time periods or anything like that. And so to have a dream where you're put in this time period and you feel yourself really there, you know, recently I've gotten to the point from being able to journal my dreams, to being able to recognize that I'm dreaming. But before I started this journey, when I'm having the dream, I don't know the difference whether it's me, whether I'm actually there, or if it's a dream or not. So, anyways, my point is that at the time, this dream stood out because I was in another time period in my body, feeling like this was reality. And so in the dream, I was in, like I said, early 1900s, Europe. I want to say England. It felt like England. And I remember specifically how the houses were lined up next to each other, and how there were steps to walk up to each house. And I remember I was looking for a young girl, and I feel like I was in the role of a social worker. And when I went into the home, it was very clearly like an orphanage or a foster home. It gave that kind of vibe. There were lots of children in kind of raggedy clothing. It was clear that they didn't have a lot of resources, and I was looking for a girl. And I feel like I said that I was a social worker, which is actually a passion of mine. I haven't really spent too much time thinking about it, whether it could be realistic for me. But now that I've had that dream, it makes me think maybe this was a past life that I was able to tap into briefly in my dream. Or maybe it was just a message being shown that this is something that I really am kind of capable of doing, and not just capable, but maybe, I would be able to really excel in. So back to my dream that I was elaborating on, in England, sometime early 1900s, maybe 1800s. I stepped into the home. I remember vividly seeing all the children that lived there. And I also remember being on a specific mission to find a girl whose name I won't say, but her name was very clear. And it's just these little details that make me wonder, if I don't watch a lot of media already, these aren't things that I think about typically. Why are these coming to me in my dreams, and why are they so specific? And whether I do something with this dream in my lifetime, it really doesn't matter. But what matters is that I try my best to connect with the dream, um, accept it, embrace it, and find meaning in it. And so, to me, just the fact that I was placed in a different time period, was on a specific mission. I remember looking into the eyes of a woman who, she was one of the caregivers of the home, and she had very clear crystal blue eyes that kind of were like foggy, like how when you have cataracts. um, I remember looking into her eyes specifically, and I don't remember all the details of what she looked like, but it's these little things that make me wonder, who are these people? Why am I connecting with them in my dreams? Is this a past? Obviously, if it did occur, it would have been in the past. And, um, you know, like I said, I might not ever find the meaning of it, the true meaning in this lifetime, but it's important that we do our best to try. And so that's just one very specific dream I have. Now that I've embarked on journaling my dreams every day, I have lists and lists of dreams over the past 6 months that I can read to you guys. And I kind of want to create this platform to talk about many different things, but to for one of the segments, for us to be able to share our dreams with each other. And I can read over your dreams, and I could try to explain what the underlying meanings are. You can give me feedback on mine, and we can just kind of go back and forth. And so I hope you were able to get something from this today. It's kind of all over the place because this is my very first video. But overall, I want you to just accept. I'm sorry, not accept. Try to find some kind of resonation with what I'm saying, in regards to the fact that dreams are important, the fact that giving ourselves time and space to connect with these dreams when we wake up, and not just brushing them to the side and then carrying on with our regular daily activities. Being able to slow down and find stillness within this reality. Like I said, the way things have been for a very long time, and the way things have been set up for competition, for capitalist purposes, we're constantly in a rat race. And so if you take anything from this, it would be to find stillness and connection back to yourself, um, and hopefully embark on this dream journey with me together. Hope to see you guys soon. Bye.